Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Open eCrime market commentary for the week of January 28th. My name is Toby Gennaro from Trade with Precision, and just coming to you this week with the outlook for the markets. And so starting out here with the S&P 500, looking at the ES futures contract, and we're looking at the monthly chart. We've been looking at this obviously for quite a while, so nothing really new here on this chart. We've got just a very large bullish candle here. Things are moving up since we had that nice setup candle about 3 months ago. So we've got higher highs, higher lows, really just moving up into that next level, which was the high back around the end of 2007, beginning of 2008. And looks like we're going to be moving straight up into that 1530 level, and that's probably where I'd be looking for probably one of the first pullbacks, potentially maybe back into the moving averages on like the daily chart. But as we begin to look at the weekly chart, you can see all the moving averages fanning out, higher highs, higher lows, continuing to push higher. I've got some extension off the moving averages, but it doesn't bother me that much. Coming down to the daily chart, we're still pushing higher. The only pullbacks we're getting are right back to the 10-period moving average, nothing deeper over the last 3 weeks. And we just continue to get setup candle after setup candle moving back to the high side. So as I said before last week, most of the setups I've been looking at and finding have been on the 480 chart and lower. So looking at the 240 all the way down to the 120 and the 60-minute chart. And so as you can see, we just had these pullbacks just right back in and amongst that 10-20 period moving average in the buy zone. And then we've just been taken off to the long side again and again. So don't really have any divergence here yet on the 480 or the 240. If you look at some of the lower time frames, you'll see some divergence on the 30 and the 15-minute. So we'll probably be getting just maybe just a minor pullback here, and then probably another setup candle, and then we're going to be back off, probably moving into that 1530 level. It's not all going to happen probably this week. We don't know what the news is going to be, but there'd probably take some pretty negative news to turn this market around and send it into a pullback, even just back to something within the moving averages below the 10 period on the daily chart, because we just haven't had that yet in over 3 weeks. So things are looking very bullish on the indices. We're looking to stay long. We're just looking for the right opportunities to do that. And we're looking towards some of the intermediate and the lower time frames to find our signals on the trend flow trades or some of those flat level momentum breakouts to join this trend and get long. And moving from the big cap stocks down here to the Russell 2000 small caps, looking at the TF contract. And been talking about this one for quite a while, this nice flat level break. Just got a break of that this month. We're looking to close out here in a couple of days on Thursday. This nice bullish monthly candle, but as you can see, same as the ES contract. As soon as we got that nice bullish candle, we're just off to the races. Broke that level, and we're just moving higher here. So at some point, we're going to get a pullback, more than likely, to this 860 level. That would be a good time to gain entrance on this move higher. As we can see on the weekly chart, we've got some, okay extension. It's nothing crazy, but we got some overextension from the moving averages there. Things continue to move higher. But on the daily chart, not a lot of overextension. We're pretty much just, staying just right above that 10-period moving average line, just like we were on the ES contract. And then again, looking very similar here on the 480. So if you look down on some of the, like the 120-minute chart, you can actually see some of this a little bit better. And as we look to 120-minute chart and see if we can pull something up, see we've been getting some really nice bullish candles there, pretty shallow pullbacks, but some of them have been at least into the buy zone, at least down to the 20-period moving average, if not a little further, and then getting some nice setup candles to move higher. But just overall, just a nice solid trend, continuing to move higher. The moving averages continuing to catch up with the price, just signaling to us that, again, we're looking to move higher. So it looks like we're setting up, a flat level there. Again, like the ES contract, we have some divergence in some of the smaller time frames, like the 15 and the 30. That should just tell us that we're just going to get probably a minor pullback, maybe a gap fill in the morning, and then we'll be back off to breaking to some new highs. So again, there is some divergence here on the 120 as low as the 60, but it's been doing that for a while and just hasn't really given us any kind of a deeper pullback other than what it's showing us right here, the 10-period moving average, and then every once in a while back down to the 20. So very bullish market, and we're looking to, potentially at least mimic. I don't know. It's looking this 728 level up to this 857 levels, almost 100 and 120 points. That's a pretty long way up if we mirror that to the upside in terms of a consolidation zone. So this market's got a long way to run, it looks like, and it's looking like that across all the indices. So just looking for the pullbacks in the right spot, and we're going to do that on some of the lower time frames, these intermediate time frames, to find those trade setups, and looking for some of those flat level breaks. So keep an eye out for some of those on the 120, the 60-minute chart. There have been some great setups there, as well as on the 240. And a lot of times you can get these on multiple time frames, sometimes up to 3 charts. 3 time frames, you'll see these setups occurring, and those are just some great trades to be taking on the Russell contract here. And looking at a foreign currency pairing here, looking at the dollar yen, as you can see, it's been a protracted downturn here on the monthly chart, and just got a higher low in place and then a higher high on the monthly chart. So a little change in trend there, and then obviously on the weekly chart we have the same thing, and then just a consecutive run up for quite a few months here. And then looking at the daily chart, we can see just the protracted up move with pullbacks right into that buy zone, and just continuing to run higher. So it looks like we're getting, I have the 120-minute chart up right here. It looks like we're getting a pullback in and amongst that 10 and 20 period moving average. So we're just looking for a closeout candle in and around this area that is bullish, potentially a green bullish candle, and then looking to pair that up with the 60-minute chart or the 240-minute chart. So there's some candles there that are looking pretty good. We just don't have a closeout. So once we get a closeout of a bullish candle on 2 time frames, we're looking to take the break of the high with our stop in below the low, and then looking to move at least back up into that next level, and potentially possibly breaking that, looking for a new high. So things looking pretty strong there on the dollar yen, and just looking at some of those intermediate time frames, the 240, the 120, the 60, to look for that setup. So there's the outlook for the markets for the week. We'd like to thank you all for watching the OpenECRI market commentary for the week of January 28th, and we do look forward to speaking to you next week on the market update.